So far we've looked at who we help, what we help them with. We've looked at creating content and also creating our online program, taking everything that we've learned and creating an online program. So all of that, all the purpose of running through all 4 of those things we've been through already is to set up for this moment where we've now got, ideally, we've now got a very clear avatar and who we help, and we know exactly what we're saying to them. On top of that, we've got some ability to be able to speak very clearly to our people and to their problem, and be able to speak very clearly what it is, our promises to them, should they continue to listen, should they continue to engage, or should they continue to work with us. And so now we are in a position where we're going to be learning how to convert those relationships that may be a little bit on off here and there. Sometimes, you know, they're intrigued, they're interested in what you're doing, but now we're going to take that connection up a step by learning how to convert in a way that takes care of everybody, okay? Because convert is a very heavy word, maybe. We're going to look at our perceptions around some of the words when it comes to sales tonight. But we're going to look at how to convert the relationships that we have in our pipeline and turn those into more long-lasting relationships. So, done for that, I hope? Cool. Awesome. Now, last week I was about quarter of the way through my presentation when Cheryl said, oh, the slides aren't up. So, can you see the slides? Nod? No? Oh. Let me see. Share. Can you see SoulTrader case study implementation program? Yay?
Yes.
Yes? Okay. Seal, you're on mute, but I can hear you talking. I can see your lips moving. All right. I got my cup today, Steve. Got my cup. So when you come back.
I got my Peroni red beer. Found it. Best Italian beer ever. I'll show you in a minute.
Yeah, well, eat your food. All right, cool. So we're going to be taking a deep dive into our conversion process. But before we do any sort of work around systems and what to say, we first want to, what I think is really important is we need to understand our attitude when it comes to selling, because anybody can take a system, and I have seen this firsthand. Anybody can take a system, see the lines that they have to say, know the things that they have to do at any given moment, but it depends on the person's attitude as to how well they use that system. So the system is only as good as the mind that uses it. That would be a common one that you would have heard. And so tonight we're going to look at, the attitude of selling, okay? And specifically the SoulTrader attitude of selling. So this is the attitude we're going to create. Now, again, you're here not because you're brand new at running your business. You do have some hits on the board. So anything you can take away here and, fill in any gaps, or maybe you've heard of this stuff before and it's just giving you new levels and new depth, okay? And a new perception. So we're going to be concentrating on what it takes for us to create an attitude that's really going to support us in having conversations with people to take a relationship forward. Sweet? Cool. All right. Let's dive on in. Just make sure yep, cool, that's fine. Awesome. So the problem with selling. Now, it's a common one, okay? The problem, if we don't have our attitude, like if we haven't looked at our attitude when it comes to selling, the problems that we can run into can be along the lines of like that, right? Where it feels uncomfortable to sell. We sort of repel selling because we've got past experiences where either we ourselves have been engaged in sales interactions, or maybe we were on the receiving end of a not so good sales interaction, and we just got this like black cloud above us. When we look up, it says sales and we go, ugh, like that. And that's definitely how I was for a little while, right? Because I had years of experience, probably 9 years of selling direct and working in call centers. And actually, most of my career was spent teaching other people how to sell on the phones. So I understand from my experience, you can have some interactions and they're not so nice. And so we're going to, part of our, everyone's all right. So part of what we think about sales is made up of our past experiences, what we have encountered and what we have done in the past. And so we want to first look at that, uncover some of that stuff first, and take a look at what our attitude currently is. And then if need be, we can make some shifts. The other problem, if we don't have a open or curious sort of, if we're not open to selling and our attitude is sort of closed off to it, then we want to do anything but sales, like eat cardboard, anything, right? I've had many conversations where people are just like, ugh, forget it, right? I'm just not a salesperson. And they'll just rather do anything but have to sell. And so this is made up, guys, of our perception. So if we have a lot of past experiences and examples of bad sales interactions, then we're going to have this attitude when it comes to, moving forward and having conversations that require talking about money. So the other one is that, we can, as well as having an attitude that doesn't support us when we go into sales conversations, we sort of can be, our attitude is sort of like we're hoping and praying and just waiting for, leads to fall out of the sky or things to happen, right, where we don't have to do so much. And this, right, if we're here to build a business, which we are, right, we want to have a little bit more under our belt than just hoping and praying that, our business is going to build somehow without having to do sales. Because when we're not being proactive in what we're doing to build our business, then, we're not making any money. And that's the last point here, is that we're not making the revenue that we want to make. So that's a big one. Okay. And what we find instead is that as soul traders, when we're in our first, 1 to 3 years of building our business, there's an amount that we have to invest to be able to make a return. Yes. But it sort of turns into that the outgoings really outweigh the incoming if we don't have a strong sales attitude to be able to build some money. So does that resonate? Cool. Awesome. Great. So let's move into the good stuff, which is what happens when we do have a really cool attitude. And I say cool because that's how sales should be. Okay, it's cool. And part of the activities that we're going to go through and do this evening is all about helping us to build that attitude of just coolness, right? The emoji with the black glasses, that one. That's how we want to be towards sales, because it is like that when we're exchanging energies, when someone wants something that we can do and it's going to change their life and we love doing it and we exchange those energies, it's like, cool. That yeah, Steve, like that. Awesome. So when we have a really cool energy and about selling, then we're ready for business. We're ready to jump in. We're not going like that. We're going, hey, what's going on? How can I help you? We're there to audition our people. We're there to see if we're a fit, right? That is the benefit of having a really cool attitude towards selling. And then when we're like that, when our attitude is turned all the way up to, this coolness, and that's what's coming out of our energy, then when we are talking to people and having consults and having discussions and auditioning and all the rest of these terms that we'll go through next week or when the next session is on, is that when we talk, people feel like they're in good hands, okay? Because this is something I'm going to teach you about next week, but we'll just have to wait till next week. I'll give you a little sneak peek, is that just as much as I'm going to teach you about, sales systems and or the components of a sales system, yes, we are using a system. Yes, great. Most people do. But here's the thing. So are the customers. And it's an unconscious one. There's what we call the prospect system. Okay. And it goes a little something like this. And you would have done it. You walk into a retail shop and the guy or the girl comes walking up to you. Hi, can I help you with anything today? And you're like, no, I'm good. It's that. That is the prospect system where it says 5 meters, 5 meters. Yeah. Don't try and tell me anything. Don't try and tell me anything. That's the prospect system working in action. And we're going to unpack that a lot next session in week 6. But the customer has a prospect system that they are using, but they don't know they're using it. And so we're going to get to understand that. Okay. But when we have a really cool attitude to it, what that does is it automatically brings down barriers where they don't feel like you're automatically going to sell them something. So that's that you're in a really good position when you can have that in your interactions from the beginning, just based on your attitude. That's a lot of, because it's like the first minute or so, or the first, interaction with your people is going to tell them a lot about your energy and if they should be working with you. Right, it's where they start to build know, like, and trust with you. And if they don't like you, or they don't trust you, or they don't, they don't know you. Well, if they don't know you, they won't be talking to you. But do you know what I mean? Like, your attitude alone will help you build that know, like, and trust, and have them feeling like they're in good hands. The next one is that when we do have a cool attitude, then we are looked at, and it's similar to the last slide, we are looked upon like we can be trusted, and that we're there to advise, because our attitude is like, I'm cool with this, I'm cool with what I do, I love what I do, I'm here to help, are we a fit? And you're very like this character about you allows them to trust you, okay, and open up and answer the questions that you need to ask, and have the conversation that you need to have in order to find out if you're a fit. So when we check our attitude and we create this space where the person feels safe, talking with us based on our attitude, then they look at us like a trusted advisor. And again, it's easier to have the conversations. And when I say have the conversations, I mean it's easier to convert sales, okay, and have a happy piggy bank, right, and make more money. So rather than having our outgoings outweigh, the incoming, it's the other way around. We can start to increase our conversion rates. Yeah, we can start to see the revenue coming in, and at some stage we'll see the profit, right, rather than just the revenue. So it's very exciting stuff when we can start to really be in a position where we are trusted by our people and just come across as cool, right? So that they're opening up and having the conversations that we really do need to have in order to sell. So with that, can you guys just take yourselves off mute and tell me which one of these excites you most? Which one of these, resonates the most with you?